vagina is a shell, a round, pink, tender shell, opening and closing, closing and opening. My vagina is a flower, an eccentric tulip, the center acute and deep, the scent delicate, the petals gentle but steady. I didn't always know this. No. I learned this in the Vagina Workshop. I learned this from a woman who runs the Vagina Workshop, a woman who believes in vaginas, who really sees vaginas, who helps other women see their own vaginas by seeing other women's vaginas. In the first session, the woman who runs the Vagina Workshop asked us to draw a picture of our own unique, beautiful, fabulous vagina. That's what she called it. She wanted to know what our own unique, beautiful, fabulous vagina looked like to us. One woman, who was pregnant, drew a big red mouth, screaming with cum spilling out. Another, very skinny woman, drew a huge serving plate with a kind of Devonshire pattern on it. I drew a huge black dot with squiggly lines all around it. The squiggly lines were meant to be people, things, or just your basic atoms. They got lost there. And the black hole was equal to a black hole in space. I had always thought of my vagina as an anatomical vacuum and sucking up particles and objects from the surrounding environment. I never thought of my vagina in practical or biological terms, and I never saw it as something attached to me. In the workshop, we were asked to look at our vaginas with hand mirrors, and then, after careful examination, we were to verbally report to the group what we saw. I must tell you, up until this point, everything I knew about my vagina was based on hearsay or invention. I'd never actually seen the thing. It never occurred to me to look at it. My vagina existed for me on some abstract plane. It felt so reductive and awkward looking at it like we were on our shiny blue mats with our hand mirrors in the workshop. It reminded me of how the early astronomers must have felt with their primitive telescopes. I found it quite unsettling at first, my vagina. Like the first time you see a fish cut open and you discover this other bloody, complex world inside, right underneath the skin. It was so raw, so red, so fresh. But the thing that surprised me the most was all the layers. Layers inside of layers, opening into more layers. My vagina amazed me. I couldn't speak when it came my turn in the workshop. I was speechless. I had awakened to what the woman in the workshop called vaginal wonder. I just wanted to lay there, on my back, legs spread, examining my vagina forever. It was better than the Grand Canyon, ancient and full of grace. It had the innocence and the freshness of a proper English garden. And it was funny. Very funny. It made me laugh. The way you could hide and seek. Open and close. Then, the woman who ran the Vagina Workshop asked how many women in the workshop had had orgasms. 2 women tentatively raised their hands. I didn't raise my hand, but I had had orgasms. I didn't raise my hand because they were accidental orgasms. They happened to me. They happened in my dreams, and I would awake in splendor. They happened on horses, on bicycles, sometimes on the treadmill at the gym. I didn't raise my hand, although I had had orgasms, because I thought it was a mystical, magical thing. I didn't want to interfere. It felt wrong getting involved, manipulative, contrived. It felt Hollywood. the surprise would be gone and the mystery. The problem, of course, was that the surprise had been gone for 2 years. I hadn't had a magical, accidental orgasm in a long time, and I was becoming frantic. That was why I was in the workshop. Then the moment arrived that I had both dreaded and longed for. The woman who ran the Vagina Workshop asked us to take out our hand mirrors again and to see if we could locate our clitoris. We were there, the group of us women, on our backs, on our mats, searching for our spots, our locus, our reason. And I don't know why, but I started crying. Maybe it was the sheer embarrassment. Maybe it was knowing that I had to give up this fantasy, this enormous life-consuming fantasy that someone or something was coming to do this for me, choose my life, lead direction, to give me orgasms. I could feel the panic coming, the simultaneous terror and realization that I had avoided finding my clitoris, had rationalized it as mainstream and consumerist because I was in fact terrified that I did not have a clitoris. Terrified that I was one of those constitutionally incapables, one of those frigid, dead, shut down, dry, apricot tasting, bitter, oh my God. I lay there, looking for my spot, reaching with my fingers, and all I could think about was the time that I was 10, and I lost my gold ring with the emeralds in the lake. How I kept diving over and over to the bottom of the lake, running my hands over fish and bottle caps and slimy things and stones, but never my ring. The panic I felt, I knew I'd be punished. And then, the woman who ran the workshop saw my intense, scrambling, sweating, heavy breathing. She came over. I told her, it's gone, I've lost my clitoris. I shouldn't have wanted swimming. The woman who ran the Vagina Workshop laughed. She calmly stroked my forehead. She said, my clitoris was not something I could lose. It was me, she said. It was the essence of me. It was both the doorbell to my house and the house itself. I didn't have to find it. I had to be it. Be it. Be my clitoris. Be my clitoris. I lay back and closed my eyes. I put the mirror down. I watched myself floating above myself. I watched as I slowly began to reapproach and re-enter. I felt like an astronaut re-entering the surface of the earth. It was very quiet, this re-entry. It was quiet and gentle. I bounced and landed and bounced. I came into my own blood and muscles and cells. It was suddenly easy, and I fit. I was all warm and pulsing and ready and young and alive. And then, without looking, with my eyes still closed, I put my finger on what had suddenly become me. There was a little quivering at first, which urged me to stay. Then the quivering became a quake, an eruption, the layers dividing and subdividing. The quaking broke open onto an ancient horizon of innocence and longing. Silence broke onto a plane of music and colors, and longing. I felt connection, cold and connection as I lay there thrashing about in my little mat. My vagina is a shadow, a tulip and a destiny. I am arriving as I am beginning to leave. My vagina. My vagina. Me.